This meeting today will have some general news, but our main focus will be taking a quick look at what the education work group is up to. The education work group will be finalizing our second training course tomorrow, basically. Yari's on a train, so he's muted. Understood. Thanks for joining while extremely mobile. Before we jump into the... Oh, hello.
Hi, Shane. Balakrishna here. I'm sorry, I do not have my computer and I'm at my farewell, so I will also be muted. I'm really sorry about that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But
then if there are any questions, I'm there online.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to show the antitrust policy notice. As always, if you have any questions about our antitrust policy notice, you can send them in. You can see the full policy on our website. So there's been a lot of work recently being done on the latest version of our training course. The first training course we did was very successful. We have a 4.68 out of 5 score. The Linux Foundation training people are very happy with the course. And a huge amount of work has been done. I'm just sharing the link on our second course by Balakrishna, by Martin, and by Yari. So we're just finishing this up now, this document, to hand over to LF training. And for example, today I was working on chapter 4. There's essentially 4 major chapters we're doing, and then 5 is just a summary. And I was taking bullet points and expanding them into sentences and paragraphs. And the idea here was to take our original source material, which was our training slides, and to make it much more suitable for reading in a learning course. Now, I just wanted to pause here. I see we've got some people on the line like Max and Helio. I wanted to check if you had a chance to look at the training course before, or if this is your first time with eyes on.
It's my first time eyes on. I was completely busy on the last day. Yeah.
I know, it's been crazy, hasn't it? Yeah. Oh, by the way, congratulations. A friend of mine just ordered the i4 in the UK, and they were told there's already a 12-month waiting list. So it looks like you guys are doing something right.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's have a look at the way the course is structured. So here's some of the older material where it's basically bullet points. And these bullet points are quite clear, but the training team do want us to take the bullet points, turn them into sentences, and run it together into paragraphs. There's 2 reasons for this. One is that they feel it's easier to read that way. And the second is that they're also going to be looking at audio versions of these slides, of this training course in the future. So they want it to be structured as a narrative. And we've been working our way on this for quite a while and simplifying a lot of material. I'm just pulling back into one of the earlier chapters, if I can. Simplifying a lot of material, reducing the bullet points, trying to use language that's easy to understand. And the mission I'd like to give you, our community, is if you can take 10 minutes or 15 minutes today to look at the document, particularly to look at areas like chapter 3, and see if you can help us remove bullet points and make it narrative, that's great. Or see if there's something that looks weird to you and just flag it so we can fix it. We really are at the very end point of making this training course, and that would be super, super useful. Now, I'm going to move on from that because my plan today is actually to wrap up the call early, and hopefully you can take the extra time and put it to looking at this document and maybe making a few notes for us. What I want to do is to swing back to some of the bigger news, just to let you know a few of the things that have been going on around OpenChain. So we are making some announcements quite soon. And some of them are already visible on our website. So I'm going to pick up a couple of those. One of the things that you'll be hearing about in the news shortly is that Square has joined the OpenChain board. So they've been on our board for a little bit now, and we'll be making the public announcement about their membership really soon. In case you missed it, NEC and Honor have also joined our board in the last quarter. So everyone's been joining since January. This is interesting because, for instance, Square is the first fintech on the OpenChain board. And we've recently seen a lot of activity in that space. Just by way of example, last year, Yoma Bank in Myanmar conformed, but just a few weeks ago, Kakao Bank in Korea conformed. It's just something interesting that maybe should be on your radar that's kind of cool that's happening. We're going to be looking at some pretty exciting community stuff in the next few weeks. One part of this goes right back to something we talked about before, which is, I'm going to pull it up. Gosh, we have so much news. Look at all this crazy stuff. As you probably recall, we're having a few different summits over the next couple of weeks and couple of months. And we previously announced security, which we had on the 17th of this month. We announced intellectual property, which is scheduled in middle March. And we announced automation, and I've been talking about automation with Oliver, and he thinks maybe May is a good time. So March, we'll have one summit, then we have a space in April, and then we have a summit in May. I was talking with our partners over the last couple of weeks, and they're interested in doing an M&A summit. So provisionally, that'll be scheduled towards the end of April. So we've had the security summit in March. We'll have intellectual property. Sorry, we had the security summit in February. We'll have intellectual property in March. We'll have M&A in April, and we'll have automation probably in May. So we're going to have a busy set of summits happening. And I wanted to put those onto your radar. I'll be talking about them more to the community tomorrow. But I think it's a, a good chance, not only for you to find out some interesting stuff, but also to share it with other people. The security summit was pretty busy. We had over 50 attendees. So we were really happy with that. Okay, so another thing I just wanted to touch on quickly is that you may recall that a couple of organizations announced that they were finished or in the middle of doing whole entity conformance. The first company to do this was ARM. And let me see if I can pull up the announcement statement from them. Here we go. Here's a good one. ARM did a case study on how they did this. And they were the first organization in the world, link in chat, to do whole entity conformance, 7,000 people covered by their program. Then Bosch last year was the second company to work on this. And something really cool, two more companies, both massive, have told me that they're planning to make announcements about whole entity conformance in the next 2 months or so. So it looks like companies are doing a lot of conformance on scale that we hadn't expected. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was talking with the team over at Bitcom, I think it was, about their event coming up in September. And they've been doing some research in the German market, and they talked to, I think it was 820 companies. And interestingly, half of them had heard of OpenChain, half had not. But 20% were either advanced or completed in their conformance activity for OpenChain, which is a surprisingly high number out of the sample size. And I wanted to let you know that. I've asked them to send me the full details as soon as possible, but I thought that was a cool number. I'm thinking we do the OpenChain survey soon, possibly immediately after we get their information, to see if we can confirm what's the status around the rest of the world. I just wanted to pause and see if you had any information. Oops. Oh no, we got a 404 on the ARM case study. Thanks, Yari. I'll go fix that. Well flagged. Yeah, so I wanted to check if you had any information about, what you were seeing with organizations conforming, and maybe mostly I'm super interested if there's any organizations we can help that might be having some trouble. So Yari pointed out that there was a 404 error on our ARM case study, which I'm going to go fix now. This is why it's super useful to have you all on the line. Alrighty. I noticed no one is like sharing information about whether they've got background on companies having challenges. The reason I'm asking is it sounds great that we're having new people jump on board. It sounds amazing that we've got the numbers there. I just want to make sure we're supporting everyone adequately. Okay. Yeah, basically, I just wanted to let you know there's a lot happening. I wanted to pause and give you a chance to let me know if there's something happening I should know about. And then I just wanted to say to you all, please take a few minutes, if you can, have a look at this document, because tomorrow it's being finalized and handed over to LF training. And the reason this is important is because our previous training course is super successful. And it's just so cool that that happened. The reviews were really good. LF training really wants the new course, and it's our opportunity, basically to shine. And also, of course, to help a lot of people. Okay, guys, thank you very much for dialing in. I do hope you are safe and well. And I do hope no one has family or friends in the Ukraine, terrible situation. So let's do our best this week. Let's see how things go. And please do take a look at this document if you can. It's going to be very important to us in supporting the companies around the world, particularly now that we can see the scale of companies doing adoption outside of our known community. Take care all, be well, stay healthy, talk soon.